mean, Conan is exactly what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Action scene after action scene after action scene. Lots of blood. Ridiculous, like, people just getting crushed.
Topless women.
I have one complaint. It takes too long to get to Jason Momoa chopping the heck out of people. And I know that's only like 10 minutes, but you know what? That should be like, part of me, those 10 minutes with like Ron Perlman and the kid chopping people up.
Yeah.
Right!
But
I want to see Jason Momoa being badass!
But once you get to that point, it's really almost nonstop. I actually, we were watching this, I was like, you know what would be a good drinking game is if we take a shot every time somebody didn't die. Because that's the only thing we could come up with to, like, make this... I mean, otherwise you'd be hammered within 15 minutes.
If you
you would die.
You would die if you pick any other kind of a drinking game. As many times as he picks up his sword. Alright?
you gotta give it, like... If there's a period of 5 minutes where someone doesn't die.
that's what we were thinking. Like, there's no other way to approach it.
Because it's like, it can't be like, if a character doesn't die. Because that one guy doesn't die. His first mate, black guy, is still alive.
This is the most progressive film I've seen in, like, 10 years. Because this is the only film where the black guy doesn't die.
The Arab thief doesn't die.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were actually talking about this, like, black guy doesn't die. The Arab doesn't die.
They're only killing white people.
The women stay alive.
Yeah.
Take that, white people.
Men in particular.
Yeah. It's about time.
And Rose McGowan.
Yeah.
She's pretty much a man. So.
She can't act. That's what this movie taught me.
But she's always done it. This movie is full of, like, those B-movie pulp actors.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman and Stephen Lang are better than this. But both of them love to do B-movie stuff like this.
You can tell they're in their element. They're enjoying it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both absolutely amazing. Like, every now and then, they just pull off absolutely amazing performances.
Well, Ron Perlman was probably getting tired of doing Sons of Anarchy for so long. So he's like, fine, I'll be in 15 minutes to Conan.
Babies in mine. Yeah. I got a beard. Chop some guys up.
I have to say, I really enjoyed this. It was cheesy.
I had a blast. It's very cheesy.
There's there's the moment where the rocks are falling. He's like, "Rock!"
And they literally just yell, "Rock, run!" Yeah, "Rock, run!" Like, that's the, like, I can just imagine the script writer like, "There's rocks running. What should they say?" Rock, run, all right. Like,
I mean, I live, I slay, I love. That's all I know. Brilliant, like, just so cheesy. I enjoyed it.
Santa's another scumbag with his trusty pump-action shotgun. We're going to turn to Brian for his reaction to Hobo with a shotgun. Because he had a very...
strong reaction.
A very strong reaction to Hobo with a shotgun.
I just hated it. Absolutely.
This is the second film that Steve has suggested that
I haven't finished.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
A Merry Gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's ridiculous. This, you can't compare that.
No, I can't. I might even finish A Merry Gentleman now because of this. I won't, but I might.
You'll say it for the camera.
I'll say it, but I'm lying to you. No, this movie was start to middle violence for the sake of violence.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had to stop after a scene where they set a bus load of children on fire.
Yeah.
They even show one of the children being charred,
burning,
pushing up against the back of the bus.
And at that point, I'm like, okay.
For a moment, I was like,
nothing else that could be worse than this. And I'm told I was wrong.
It gets worse.
I was told I was wrong, and I'm glad I shut it off.
A lot worse. Like, I didn't realize how much of a once I started watching it, and I realized that it was a grindhouse film.
Yeah.
I had to there's a switch in your head that you have to change.
Yeah. I don't have that switch.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Because it's still thinking about it now, it's repulsive. There's you missed the scene at the end where
I didn't. I did not watch it. I did not miss it.
You didn't watch the scene at the end where they put the Abby is the main girl. They put her hand inside a
Oh, I
lawnmower,
forgot about that.
and they show it slowly, just
Thanks
like
for reminding me.
clipping off pieces of her finger. That was just, and you're right. That the knife, and the thing is that I actually think she did a really good job because she managed to convey a sense of innocence.
She
so
did.
anytime she's
Even
affected,
though she was a prostitute.
right?
Yeah.
Prostitute with the heart of gold. Anytime she's hurt, I feel so awful for her.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think this movie is, as far as Grindhouse films go, it's a step above most Grindhouse films. Because it's not satirizing Grindhouse films, but it understands what it is. And it is just, it's also not really pushing the limits. There are times that they pull back. I know that sounds weird, but there are times they don't completely show all the children burning.
Yeah.
They're able to show that one body banging.
They don't actually have any rape scenes, which I was,
which is normally a statement of Grindhouse
20
films.
to 25 minutes into it, I was like, oh god, I know that's coming. And it never happened, so I'm really glad for that.
And the special effects look fake enough that
Yeah.
I can accept that they're fake. Ways to kill people. And they're literally like, the scene where the girl is dancing in the blood.
Yeah, that's
the epitome of a Grindhouse film.
That's the scene where we were watching this, and that's the scene, the guy gets, his head ripped off.
Right.
And blood spraying everywhere. And just out of nowhere, a girl in a bikini walks up and starts, dancing in
She
it.
was with them.
She was
But
with them.
but still, I mean, it's pretty out of nowhere. You don't understand, why she's doing this, or, what the reasoning is. It's just because there's blood, and this is, sex and violence mashed together as much as it possibly can be. And that was when I was like, oh, crap.
Right.
Me too.
At
Me
that
too.
point,
That point was, I'm not going to finish.
I'm kind of glad they did that early because in some ways that signals what the film is.
I have to be honest. If it wasn't for this podcast, I would not have finished it. I found this repulsive. The scene in the school bus, I really wanted to turn it off. But I was like, I gotta, this is my pick, so I gotta finish it. I gotta finish this.
Outside of a critical standard, this is not something I would normally watch.
I abhor this film. I did find there was one aspect of it. What were they called again? The two mechanized people.
The Plague.
The Plague, yeah. Where she killed one of the Plague guys, and he's like, now she has to become the other Plague guy. And I was like, that's actually kind of interesting. I wish that would have been played out a little bit or something. But it was just sort of this side thing that.
Alright, so the next movie is The Life Aquatic. And if you had to hang out with one person from the cast, who would it be, and what would you do?
Oh, that's easy.
Really?
Yeah.
This is a massive
It's a massive cast, but Bill Murray. I would anything to hang out with Bill Murray. He seems like he'd be a blast. I mean, he'd probably be putting you down the entire time, making you just feel like absolute shit. But it would be the best. I would never.
You'd feel like the fanciest shit ever.
Yes, exactly. It'd be amazing. I'd just be like, I never want to feel like any other shit. I mean, Bill Murray is a person, it's one of those things that if you could pick 3 people to have a beer with that are living, Bill Murray would be one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is tougher for me because the obvious choice I feel like is Bill Murray.
Yeah,
I'd love to hang out with Bill Murray.
I don't remember much of anyone else in this cast, unfortunately, because
Owen Wilson, probably Jason Schwartzman's probably in there.
Yeah.
But
Jason Schwartzman is in every. What's this?
Isn't Gwyneth Paltrow in it?
Yes,
Oh, no,
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Is she in this?
She's in this.
She is? Okay. She's in. She's also in.
I'm seeing
this
this.
Other one.
Yeah.
I'm seeing the cover to Life Aquatic, and all I can think of is pirate radio right now.
Yeah. I watched Life Aquatic high on Valium, really high, and so I have a very happy feeling. I haven't watched it since.
I was completely sober for once, and and I watched it. I loved it. I loved it from beginning to end.
I had.
It's my favorite Wes Anderson film.
There was
actually
one of my college roommates. This was his favorite movie
of all time.
Yeah, of all time, and he to the point where
I can see that
where he bought one of the red hats that everybody wears and wore it all the time, and he started getting really obnoxious about it. So this movie isn't as high for me as it is. I don't I can't really enjoy it because he just ruined it by the way he loved it so much.
Yeah.
And it was to the point of obnoxiousness. And I
honestly, I know this is gonna sound really lame. Whatever, you guys can make a grief for it. I would hang out with Owen Wilson.
You probably end up in like Mexico or something by the end of the
Take that, white people!